What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for another post day live stream and another win. Unbelievable. But we won two games, not in a row, but in the same week, let alone in the row. It's unbelievable. It's actually also unbelievable that we won that game, but we managed to win that game. So we beat Fiorentina on a day where Bologna failed to beat Frosinone, also not sure how, and Atalanta uh, lose away to Cagliari, which I've always said is not going to be easy for us as well, but it's a big step forward for us into scraping top four. So that's what we're going to talk about. Everybody who's joining, thanks, like the video. But first off, Norbert, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm a little I feel like under the weather. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
I have a little cold or something. But other than that, all good. Can't wait to talk about this terrible performance we showed on the pitch.
It was terrible. It was. Actually, I should have been at the game, but I canceled. I was going to the game and I canceled like 3 weeks ago. I said I'm not, or like 4 weeks ago, maybe something like that. I said I'm not going. Also for personal reasons, but also like I was like, no, like I'm not gonna do it. It's a lot of money, or like it's not the money thing. Like I will pay for it. It's not really that. It's a lot of
It's not a
money.
money thing. I have all the dough. It's not the money.
Nah, not that,
But
not
yeah,
even that. But like I was like, I get it, but like, no, I would if I would have
yeah,
gone for a couple of days, it would be more about just leaving off, like going away from work a little bit, have some fun, visit the
yeah,
city again. It wasn't really about the game. And in hindsight, it's a good thing I didn't go because
for
yeah,
sure.
no, like I would have like it's bad. You know what it is at home? It's different. You watch at home. You're gone. After the game, it's like I move on. I move on. I do my thing and I go to bed. But if you're there, like you're at the game a couple hours before, like you're the build up, and then it's like it's weird. It's not how it should be. But the performance was horrible. I don't think we. I don't think we were bad. Like I don't even know how to analyze that game because what I did like was in the first half, when like in the first half an hour or so, we had some sort of drive to score a goal. Yes, it was
Yeah,
offside a couple of times, right calls, but there was something out there. At least that could have been said. And in the first half, Fiorentina had nothing, absolutely nothing, and the possession was what it is, and you take the lead, and you're like, okay, it's fair, it's right, you should have been in front, we were in front, and I was cool, and I was just come out in the second half, and I tweeted out, I said, you need to kill that game off now, you take it, you're on top, finish it off, go take the game to them, and make it happen. For some reason, you're gone. Can you still hear me?
yeah. I can
No, you're
still
gone.
see you.
Um, but that was my thing. Then the second half, we come out in the second half, and it was a complete disaster in the second half. It was a complete disaster, and like I don't even know how to explain what happened in that second half because we had 16% possession at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's insane.
Six, you know how bad that is. 16 is you
Yeah.
don't have the ball at all. Like you just have it to throw it in, basically. Kick it out.
Locatelli had it 5 times, and I don't think he made a pass or something, or 4 times
I,
maybe the
I
second half.
didn't really look it up. But going off like it would make a lot of sense if he didn't had a lot of passes. It would have made a lot of sense. And I saw people
Yeah,
slating him for that. But at Lazio, it was Miretti who had absolutely no touches. What are 8 in that first half? So it's a team. It's an occurring team. Like it's not a one-off. And a lot of people are like, oh, you want to shit on Rabiot, but not Locatelli. Rabiot was rubbish. Like I don't like what do you want me to do? Because Locatelli didn't had a
Yeah.
good game. I need to praise Rabiot. He was rubbish, and he has been rubbish for weeks, months, basically. He's anonymous, and he's pissing me off. He doesn't win a header. He doesn't really want to go into it, and it's pissing me off. But that second half was a disgrace. It was a disgrace, an absolute disgrace from top to bottom. And then post game, he comes out and he's like, yeah, there are 11 players on the opposition side, and they can have the ball as well. I'm like, but you're like, that happens if, like I said in my reaction or whatever, if Real Madrid in the Champions League face Apoel Nicosia, that's a stat I expect. 16%
Yeah.
possession. We're playing a mid-table
Yeah.
team in Fiorentina, by the way. Like, we're not playing Man City here. That's unacceptable. The way you want to dress it up, the players are not good enough. I get it, but oh boy, that like the players are not coached at this moment in time. They're just not well coached because which good coach team will have 16% possession no matter what the players are?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't even know where to start. So first of all, like you mentioned that you almost went to the game.
Yeah.
I also have it in my head for a long time, but for me the main reason, I mean, it's similar reasons because I don't want to see this team play. Like I don't want Allegri team. I don't want this team. I don't want to watch it. So that's my main reason. The other thing is Bashar from the chat pointed out that my
Yeah.
mic is high and yours is low. What I can do is I can push
I
my
did
mic.
it. I already did it.
Oh, okay. So that's fixed. Awesome. Yeah, the game. Oh my god, we started really good, and after the second goal, I was like, okay, my prediction of a 2-1 might be solid. But then I just you know what, I hate the offside rule. I think it's stupid and need a reform. But whatever, it was our fault. It was offside. And we were pushing, and then second half. I don't know what did he tell them at halftime, but it was horrible. If you look at the heat map from the first half and the second half, the first half it's clear that we were attacking on the, I think what was it, the left side? No, the right side where Cambiasso was. And then the second half it's only at the tech area, like maybe a little further out, so the defenders and tech had the ball when we had the ball. That 14% in the second half. And then Alcazar didn't even touch the ball. I think touched one time, and then that's it. And
But
I don't know, the whole mentality. I don't even understand. And sorry, one more thing. When Yildiz Yildiz had the ball and he ran towards the goal. You saw that? I think you retweeted that video.
I
When he
I
told them
understand.
to run to the corner or something, and then
I get that. Like it's the last second. Like I'm not really angry about that. It's the last seconds. Like just kill off the game, and Yildiz killed off the game in his own way. He won the
yeah,
free kick that killed off the game. I get that. It's just animated, whatever. But Yildiz should be killing off that game at this moment. Like the way we were playing, and the team we are, and the situation we're in right now, you just kill off the game. And Yildiz did it in his own way. So it got blown up, and I was like, yeah, we needed to kill off the game. We were terrible. Like we were getting away with a win again, again. Like we were getting
yeah.
with a win finally, basically. So I get
And
that.
Tech's save, yeah,
Yeah,
Tech's
like
save was. Whew.
it was like rubbish. Like that's the team of the last. It's rubbish. Like it's unwatchable. It's rubbish, and players are going like this emotion wise. I saw Vlahovic again, very pissed. I saw Chiesa again, like, and they're not playing well. Like I'm not excusing players here, but when so many players are so bad, there is an issue right here. There is an issue. I like yesterday. Cambiasso had a good first half. The second half he wasn't good, but we were sitting so deep. McKennie had a good first half. In the second half, I forgot he was playing as well. Like, it's not like, are we going to blame everyone at this moment in time? Danilo was rubbish in that second half. It's Rabiot was anonymous. Like, how many players are we going to blame?
Yeah,
Like, again, if I was supporting Sarnitana, I would still not accept it, 16%, but I will be accustomed to it in terms of it can happen a couple of times a season. Like it can happen, you know. But in every single game we go, we cannot keep possession. And Locatelli said it. We need to be better in that. And people are like, oh, even Locatelli said it, and you're blaming the coach. You coach these things, and of course you need players who can do that. You know, keep possession. But again, we're not playing with scrubs. They're not good enough to be the top team we all want Juve to be. But they're not scrubs. Like they're not this bad. Like
Yeah,
let's
because
be honest here.
for example, the first 30 minutes showed us like we can actually play if we want, or if Allegri lets them play. We just need to. I just don't understand, why can't we play like that? Why can't we play like against Lazio? I'm not saying the full game, but we played some football. I don't understand. I really don't understand.
Because apparently, and somebody Giaccherini asked Allegri that basically, and he said because on the other side there are 11 players wearing a purple jersey, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but like every team faces 11 players. Like what do you want me to like? What's I don't even get the answer. Like the answer was like, okay, pause right here because it's not you. It's not just you who are that's facing 11 opposition players out there. Every single team faces 11 players. Like so, every
Yeah,
coach
I don't
must say,
understand.
"I don't understand that answer. That answer is
Yeah,
weird. It's strange." And even in the
but the
studio,
question was really good.
the
Sorry, the
question was really
question,
good.
Giaccherini's question, really good. Yeah,
Yeah, but Giaccherini said like, and he was talking to Allegri when he was saying that, or like they were
yeah,
showing him the video of what Giaccherini said basically, and Giaccherini said the quality in this team is not crazy, but it's good enough to do better, and some players are struggling, you know, because technically some players are more than capable enough to do much better, you know. And like I said, if we had one struggling player, I would be like, yeah, man, it's on you. But when we have a couple, it's becoming an issue. Like it is, and it's been an issue for 3 years, but especially this season, I think it's very clear. Like at the end of the day, we won the game, and we should have won the game in terms of Bologna gave us how do you want to say it, like a gift, and Atalanta, yeah,
yeah,
they helped us big time. Next week is a derby, or this week is a derby on Saturday, but they aided us. They helped us big time, you know, and we did what we had to do. Like I said in my post game, we're gonna talk about how we play, but it is what it is. Like if we want to get into top four now, it's like that. That's the only way we're gonna get in top four. Scrape a result, hope the other teams drop points. That's what happened
yeah,
this weekend. Now in Torino, you need to beat Torino. You need to find a way to beat Torino because we need 12 points right now, basically,
yeah.
if fifth is a place, depending on what Fiorentina will do against Atalanta in the game in hand. Because it's not really, I don't even know when they play their game in hand. But let's assume Atalanta win their game. I think we need 12 points to basically
So yeah,
secure them
if
because you
they
won.
if they win, that's 9 points, right? If
If
they
they
win,
win, it's 9 points. If they win, it's
yeah,
9 points. So that's why I'm gonna say they win, so we need 12 points. If they don't win, we need lesser points, basically,
yeah,
something like that, you know. But that's the situation we're in now. You know, you still have Monza, you still have Bologna, you still have Roma head to head. You have Milan, Cagliari, Salernitana. Like there are winnable games and games that like it's weird that we need to talk about, but games you don't even need to win, but just don't lose. You know, Bologna and
yeah.
Roma, just don't
So
lose. Just keep it at bay,
yeah,
basically.
because this round showed us that this league is not strong, and Atalanta can lose or play a draw against a bad team, and Roma can do,
They
I mean,
will
they won, but
they will drop
I
points,
don't know.
but my thing is
Yeah,
we will drop points as well, and we're capable of dropping even more points. And because the forum suggests that we will drop more points, basically. But we won.
we can we can drop some more because now we have some cushion, thankfully. But yeah, it's going to be tight for sure.
Yeah, like it was just more like after the final whistle, it was more of a relief. Basically, it was like ugh.
Yeah,
Because if we were Manu, like I don't really wouldn't like I wouldn't be as invested. I'd be like, we will have money. Like my issue right now is
TV money.
money.
Yeah,
Like it's money. When Chesney is talking about it as well, I'm like, they know we need Champions League money. If I were a Manu fan or a Chelsea fan, I still wanted Champions League football, but it's different. You're like, okay, but we still have money to spend to strengthen the team or whatever. We don't. We do not have that type of money. So that's the thing. Now, the team of the day, actually before the game, it was all about Thiago Motta and the agreement in place and whatever. And today, it was about a bust up in the locker room. Now, I'm gonna defend Allegri here. I don't like the news stories because the news stories are based on loose sand. Like there's no, there's no real story. I don't know. We'll read out the chat in a couple of minutes, people. The story is there's been a bust up, and Manna was involved, and Giuntoli was involved, and Danilo was involved, and Allegri was involved, but nothing else. So, what even does what like the report in itself, it doesn't hold any weight, if you know what I mean,
Yeah,
because I don't know what happened. You just put that out there to make Allegri look bad again, you know. And Giovanni said this happens all the time. You see the discussion. So I was like, people know what I think about Allegri. I think the ending is extremely sad, you know, for a guy who has won a lot for this club.
yeah,
I don't hate the guy. I dislike what he became in terms of how he talks to the media because I fully understand we're not going to win with this team. I fully understand that. But there are certain things I cannot accept. I just cannot accept, you know, and certain things he says I cannot accept. So the story, I read the story and I was like, I don't even know what to do with it, to be honest. Like, because this is basically piling on without any evidence, basically. Or something happened in the
yeah,
locker room, Allegri was involved. Everybody will go, oh, look at this. But what actually happened? You don't know what happened, so I don't get the reporting.
yeah, yeah. I just can't wait the season to be over, and this 7 plus the cup games, and then just done with it, and we can forget about this because I think Allegri is leaving 100%, but I'm not 100% sure that Motta will come because
Yeah,
he will be wanted by other clubs for sure.
but yeah, but the locker room thing, it is what it is right now. It's like we know there's discontent in the locker room. We know
Yeah,
there's something. Will it fully come out one day? No, I don't think it should. You know, what happens in the locker room should be staying in the locker room. I know things leak, but if you leak stuff, you need to leak it properly. Like we need to know what happens. Do not half leak things because then people are gonna make up their own stories, and then it gets a bit dangerous. You know, I don't like that.
yeah.
It's the end. Somebody said, "Are we 100% certain that Lakers gonna wait? Is gonna go and Mota's gonna come in?" I'm oops, that's a wrong overlay. I'm 99% sure that Allegri's gonna leave because it's not 100, and I'm 90% sure Mota's gonna come in. I know there's Manu reportedly interested. He's not gonna go Manu. Manu are not gonna sign Mota. Mota's not gonna go to another foreign team in my opinion. He's coming Juve. If he leaves Bologna, he's joining Juve. So I'm
PSG?
gonna say 90. No, he's not going PSG.
No.
PSG are also not rumored to sack their coach. He's not going PSG right now. I don't think he's going to take that step. I think he's done well in Italy right now with Bologna. It will
And he
be.
wants to stay.
I think he
Yeah,
just wants to say it would be weird to leave for PSG now. I think it would be extremely weird. Like it doesn't feel right, you know, for him to do so.
yeah.
So that's what I think. And Danilo, you know, that was I will read out the. Let me read out the chat. Um, do you saw Milano's words on Juventus about chaos in the team? I can translate it right, so can understand the context. I like that's basically the story I'm talking about. It's like yeah, like I don't see. I saw Danilo. Somebody said Danilo was involved, and I just made a joke. I'm like yeah, they're both gonna leave, but um, there's no real substance to the story. It's just something happened potentially, and I'm like yeah, but what? You know, you cannot leave it like that. It's very weird, you know, because everybody's gonna make up their own scenario. Just win the next two games against Torino and Cagliari, and we pretty much secure Champions League. Sounds easy, does it? It's two away games. Is it? We play Cagliari away. Is is it Torino and Cagliari,
Uh,
or is Lazio in between in the Coppa Italia? Because if that's the case,
oh my god.
it's three away.
So we have 4 games now. 4 games now, and then the cup. So
Oh, okay.
we have Torino, we have Cagliari, we have Roma, and we have Milan, and then we have the cup.
That's insane. You know, Cagliari away is not easy. It's always a brutal game to watch. It will be even more so this season. And Torino,
Yeah,
well, if they don't win the derby this season, I have no idea where they're gonna win another derby. Like I just, like, I
they
just, I
are
just
they
don't
are
know.
not good. So you
they're
know.
they're okayish, but they will turn up for the game. They will turn up for the game because they
Sure.
know they can beat us. Like it is what it is. Um, Based on what I saw being at the game, and you went. Where are you from, Alex? Alex, by the way. I don't see how we're gonna beat Torino. They lost to Empoli, but Torino's a solid team. They are a solid team. They are a solid team. Let me see. Giuntoli should sell Sule for 35, 40 million and buy Sigrova for 25 plus Felipe backup, improvement and profit. Really quickly on that, a lot of people do not rate Sule, but they expect us to get 40 million. Those two things do not add up, in my
Yeah.
opinion. They don't add up. If he's worth 40 million, you keep him because that means he's a good player. We're not going to get 40 million for. I don't think we're even going to get 35 for Sule. I'm being completely honest right here. I don't see I don't see it happening right now. I can be completely wrong. And on Felipe Anderson, I made a video on that for tomorrow. It's basically a done deal. I talked about it, but it depends on so many scenarios we cannot really discuss right now. Maybe Sule is going to stay, and it's Kostic, Keane, and Junior that are going to go, and it's a backup, and we're going to change formation. Maybe uh, Vlahovic will be sold. Bremer is sold, and we're going to spend money on a backup winger. We don't know. Like, there's so many scenarios. We play a lot of games. If he's a rotation player, starter here, backup there, can play right, left, it makes a lot of sense. If you ask him to play 40 games, I don't think it's good. But it's very hard to talk about it
Yeah.
right now because there's so many scenarios open, and it depends on so many. It depends on even on Bremer leaving potentially. It depends on so many things that I cannot make a fair assessment on that. That's when somebody asked me on Twitter. I was like, ask me again at the end of the transfer window. Then I can say it. I get it. It makes sense. The only thing that makes sense now right now financially, and that's about it. But squad building, I don't know. I need to wait until I don't know what is it, September the 3rd this season, I think, or something like that. So let's see.
Second, probably, no.
I believe Danilo is gone. Giuntoli will clean Allegri's people. I will be absolutely stunned. Turam over coal miners, says somebody. Danilo should go. Not good enough. Even on the bench, I'm out. Keep Danilo. Let him accept a decreased salary, 2-year deal or something like that, and make sure he's okay with a squad player role. You probably would, I think. Um, Felipe Anderson signing means no more Bernardi links, right? Wait, that's also not a given. We will always get linked to Berardi. We're getting linked to Zaniolo still. Um, yeah, that's it. We must win the next two games. Must. After that, we have one. After that, we have two almost certain losses to Milan and Roma. The way we're playing, yeah, but probably those are the games they somehow managed to win because that will be so typical. But the next two games are going to be big. On Saturday, excuse me, another 6 o'clock game. You know what that means? That means horrible to the second degree. It's going to be brutal. You can kind of predict that already, right? On Saturday, Bologna play. I looked it up. Bologna played Monza, I think. They play Monza.
Mm.
Um, Roma play Udinese away, and Atalanta play what they play on Monday, I think it was, but I'm not sure who they play. They play Europa League, and then they play, I think it was Verona at home on Monday. So quite easy games for all of them.
Yeah.
We need to do our business. They have midweek game. I think Roma play Milan in the midweek, and Liverpool play Atalanta midweek. Is that gonna drain some mental energy from them? You would expect, yes, because they need to play them again next season and next week. Roma Milan. That's big. Good game to watch as well. But we need to capitalize. Like I said, the Lazio win means nothing if you didn't win against Fiorentina. We found a way. Fiorentina win means nothing if you lose against Torino. I'm gonna say lose, not even win. But let's see. I guess because
It's crazy. It's still crazy to me that we need to like be afraid of these teams and look behind our backs.
but if you
It's
look at the
insane.
players, they look tired. They look mentally absolutely done with it. That's an issue. Like
Yeah.
it's it's a big issue. It's worrying. It's sad. It's unacceptable. Like we described it so many times, and we
This
went
is
over
what
it.
playing under Allegri does to you for 3 years.
And
Some of them,
and players
for
need to
some
do
of them.
better. But like, when so many players
Yeah,
are checked out or not really involved, then yeah, man, like the coach being moved on is just a natural thing that happened. And we were gonna improve the squad no matter, like, we're gonna make changes in the squad no matter who the coach is gonna be. But I think even the club came finally to the realization that even though we're gonna change players, we still need to make the big change here because it's been 3 years. It's just not, it's not working. It's not going in the right direction.
yeah.
So that's
No, but
that.
it's funny. It's really funny that after this Fiorentina game, I heard more rumors or more like rumblings about how Allegri is bad and how the management doesn't want him. And when we lost all those games, I didn't hear this much stuff. So
It
it's interesting.
basically, or like the rumors are suggesting that after Genoa, it kind of snapped. Something snapped. I was like, it took so long, but whatever. Something happened after the Genoa game. Something really
Mm.
happened. And I've said a couple of weeks ago, you can never say it's 100% done, but it's April and he has 1 year left on his deal, and there's absolutely not a single rumor from good sources that they were going to sit down to talk about a deal. That's not weird. And on top of that, you have his agent coming out and saying he needs to be honest. Juntoli needs to be honest behind closed doors. I was like, no, like that was very clear. If maybe at that point they knew it's not gonna happen, or even worse, they thought that was a good thing to do, and Juntili was like, yeah, no, not with me. Like it's done, and I don't even know if he is the right man, Juntili. I don't know. Like I have no idea. I have no idea. But we have nobody else right now. Manna's gone, and it's it's literally
Yeah,
Juntuli at the club right now. He's gonna bring his own guys, which makes perfectly sense. It makes a lot of sense to bring in your own guys. It's just normal. But at this moment in time, he is the only one at the club, quote unquote, with football knowledge
yeah,
above
like a
Allegri,
sport
basically.
guy. Yeah,
And I think Alcon said, you figure it out right now. Financially, it needs to be sustainable. I put two guys up top there to guide you basically through that. But other than that, you need to rebuild this thing. It's very clear that Cherubini is gone. Manna is gone. Allegri will be gone. There's nobody left. Like there's nobody left. It's just him right now. So it was just bound to happen. I think at this moment in time.
we should we should keep Manna back for like until like the middle of July or something. What
Yeah,
Napoli did to us.
I don't think you were gonna be that petty. Inter are
Yeah,
losing.
no.
Great, we can still win the league. We can still win the league. Uh, I wonder if Jorginho is still going to be signed. He will be linked, but I think Arsenal are gonna give him a new deal. He's playing. He's playing extremely well this season. But we need experience. Is Felipe Anderson the experience I was looking for? Not really. I was looking at Tony Kroos. It's not gonna happen. The next one up is Modric. Basically, it's not gonna happen. But like, oh, you have Fajoli and you have Modric, who will dominate Serie A still and will do bits in Europe. That's the signing we should be making. It's not gonna happen. He's not gonna come play for us, Modric. But if you have one big free agent you need to make and you don't care about age, you do everything possible to convince Modric to say, you know what, it's not going to happen. But that's, if you tell me you need an experienced player out there with the younger core or whatever, that's a player. I was like, yeah, Fajoli can learn from him. He has
Yeah,
a lot
like
of aura. He will dominate. I was like, yeah, it's not going to happen, but that's a free agent, experienced player I was kind of dreaming.
yeah, like how we signed Pirlo back in the days.
Something like that, yeah.
It's
But it's easier for
similar
Pirlo.
caliber.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like Pirlo's wage was like, we're not gonna. He's gonna get big money elsewhere. But even maybe Modric's like, yeah, I'm done, or like I'm just gonna retire MLS. Chill. I don't want to do this thing
yeah.
anymore.
I just don't see him. What? Why? Why would he come here? What's the motivation? I just don't get it.
Yeah, like I said, it's not gonna happen. Like it's not gonna happen. But like
Yeah,
that was the free agent, experienced player type, or in that mold. That command.
yeah,
Like Felipe Anderson is not. The players are not gonna look up to Felipe Anderson. Like players are not looking up at Danilo. I don't care what people say. Make comes out of nowhere. The statement, we're not talking about Danilo, but when people are like, captain experience, nobody's gonna convince me out on the pitch that look up to Danilo, and he's an inspiration for other players to do better. I refuse to believe that, because if that's the case, the problem is even bigger. So that's why it's like
Yeah.
we are missing that type of player, and I gave Allegri that. Like, there's no real leader in this team, and with leader I mean also quality wise, not just talking. So let's see. You never know. We've seen weirder things, but there are absolutely no links, by the way. Like, I'm just making up these stuff, but yeah,
Yeah, this summer will be exciting, I think, signing wise. Giuntoli can show his magic.
yeah. He's gonna need to do a lot with little, and he's
Well,
gonna,
yeah,
like, we will talk about it all summer. What I do hope is that business will be done quickly for the main guys. Quickly, the news out there that we're not gonna go on tour. I love, I
yeah,
absolutely like that. Just
I
prepare
love it.
for
Yeah,
once, good, fitness wise, everything just good. And maybe that's the case because the club needs the money. Like, it will benefit the club to go on tour, by the way. It would benefit the club. But maybe the decision is okay. Maybe
new coach,
maybe Giuntoli
reset,
actually convinced everybody and said, "This is a reset. We need a proper training camp, not
yeah,
traveling and all these things and all the
playing like
distractions,
4 or 5 games. Yeah,
and like traveling one day, training, or like arriving, training in the hotel. Next game, you need to be out there for the show." And I get the people living out there. I get it, but
yeah,
this is the way to go, And I hope we do our business soon, quick, or like the main guys, and then the core needs to be there. But it's gonna be in crazy summer. I know that for a fact, because you will hear news and you will be all hyped, and the next day you're like, damn, we're selling him, like, or we're signing him. It's gonna be all over
yeah,
the place. So, but that's for later. We need to focus on Torino. To be honest, we need to focus on Torino. Calvo's still at the club. At least one good person at the club. Well, I can see
money
Modric
wise
going back
or
to.
like business wise. Yeah,
I don't know. Tottenham. Get Busquets then. No. How much realistically do Juve have to spend this summer? Does Juve have to spend this summer before sales? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I need to absolutely lie. I think nobody knows, to be honest. It's
yeah.
gonna be all over the
So
place reporting wise
there
and
was a
stuff.
report or something, no, that we are doing better than expected.
Could be, but like it's very difficult to say. Oh, we have 20 million cash without sales. It doesn't really work like that.
20?
I'm just making it up,
Yeah,
or 30 or
yeah,
40.
yeah,
I'm just making it up because deals happen differently. Like the structure, like it's hard to tell. What we do know is we're gonna need to sell. It's as simple as that. We're gonna sign players and we're gonna spend some money, but we're gonna need to sell as well. So, but that's something. That's something for the summer.
let's just make it to Champions League, and then we can
That's it.
talk about these
That's
things.
it. And it's almost certain that fifth place is a Champions League spot. Almost. So let's see how that will go as well this week, because this week will be vital to it as well. Um, we're gonna wrap this one up because I don't have much time today, unfortunately. If you haven't liked the video, like, subscribe, because we're getting closer and closer to 5K. I want to reach that before the end of the season, actually before the end of the month, but especially before the end of the season. On Holy Fun, I like Cherky, but he's having a downfall a little bit. He had big highs, but to be honest, Lyon is all over the place this season. So and Zegrova, I haven't really watched, so I cannot really say anything about that. Like, the stats look good, I get it, but I like, no, I cannot really recall game tape in front of me, so I cannot really say anything about that.
Yeah,
And thanks.
yeah, I didn't. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't. But we will talk about that in due time, because it's going to be an extremely busy summer. Thanks, Norbert, for joining. I think I'll see you again on Sunday to talk
Yeah,
about Torino game, hopefully with a win. I will be back live, I think, on Wednesday after the Champions League game. Pretty sure on Wednesday. And also Friday during the day, gonna try to do a new show Friday during the day as much as I can. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, people, have a good evening or day.